So there's this YouTuber, and he goes by the name of LucasTracyMMA. I had no clue who he was, but JMMA says something about him. He made a video about UFC 5. Now, I did not see the video, and I never even heard of the video until it popped up on my basically like the For You page on my YouTube homepage. So when I seen it, I was like, okay, it came here for a reason, and it wanted me to watch it. So I thought I would watch that with you guys. And before we do, I do want to say this. I'm gonna put the link to Lucas Tracy MMA channel in the description below. So you obviously pay him his respect if you guys want to watch the original video. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hit the like button, and we're gonna start watching.
Game developers don't even bother making another UFC game unless you actually listen to the people that play the game and implement.
Thank you. Let me drink my water because he already spitting and no glaze. Don't make another video game unless you listen to the fans. And that's EA's problem. They have an agenda and they always follow their agenda and they don't listen to the people. Or they listen to the people and they give the people what the least amount of people want, and the majority of people just get left behind.
Their critiques and make the game better, because not only has the game hardly changed, if anything, it's just gotten worse. From UFC.
You know what's funny? I don't want to drag this video along, but if I say this, I'm the crybaby. If I speak these exact same words, it's like I've created this image of me being a crybaby and complaining about something, but numbers don't lie. UFC 5 numbers are down.
3 to UFC 4 all the way to UFC 5, it does nothing but deteriorate.
Yep.
I still haven't even played UFC 5. I've never played it. I haven't even got it, because I just know that everything that was wrong with UFC 4, everything that we wanted to get improved, wouldn't get improved in UFC 5. And everything they've added, which was what? They added about 5 minutes worth of nothingness to UFC 5. Valentina Shevchenko, a one-segment scene of Valentina Shevchenko doing a cameo, and new graphics for knockout replays. Those two things, when you're looking at the grand scheme of the game, don't do anything to make it more enjoyable. All right? The actual gameplay has gotten way worse. All right?
Thank you, bro. Sped activity has ran rapid through UFC 5's rank play, bro.
Sure, they added the doctor stoppages and the cuts, and fine, maybe that's okay. But like, whenever I've seen UFC 5 gameplay, everything looks like it's in slow-mo and like there's a sparring match going on. There's no actual dynamic moves. Nothing looks fast. The kicks, as I said, they're being thrown at the speed of a tortoise. Here's some UFC 4 kicks. All right? Fast, dynamic. Okay, that actually looks like it could be coming from a professional fighter. UFC 5 kicks are like slow-mo. What the heck is going on? Why are they so slow? Again, nothing looks dynamic. Every time I've seen it, tuning into a bedtime FC thing, Martial Mind, every single time I've seen gameplay, it looks like it's an arcadey type of game.
Literally, the game is too much of arcade, and the game is too much of all being about presentation.
People have actually said UFC 4 was not as good. No, dude, I don't even have to play UFC 5 to know it's worse than UFC 4. I don't even have to play it. For some other critiques of the game, okay, before we get into the career mode critiques, because those are where the real critiques are at, why is it so difficult to KO somebody or to get KO'd? All right, I've had wars in UFC 5 where I get dropped 10 times, my opponent gets dropped 10 times, and we're still slugging it out. And there's still going to be 5 more knockdowns before one of us finally falls and loses. Even when you're playing as Francis Ngannou, look at this gameplay from UFC 4. Again, I know it's literally the same thing in UFC 5.
I think he messed up because he said even when I played UFC 5, I think he meant UFC 4 because he did say that he never played 5.
I don't even have to play the game to know. Why is it taking so long for Francis Ngannou, the heaviest hitter in the sport, to KO Cyril Gane? Literally, how is he taking this many punches and not out cold? This is a 4-piece Clean combination from Ngannou.
But when you really look at it, that's crazy, bro. That's absolutely insane. Why is Francis Ngannou hooking somebody 4 times unanswered and that person is still alive?
And Gon gets right back up. If you're playing as or against one of the heaviest punchers in the sport, there should be devastating consequences for when you get hit with their punches, or if you're playing as them, there should be devastating results when you land those punches. And for anyone saying, well, listen, man, that would take away the fun because then you can't go to wars and you can't go to wars,
I need to hear what he says next.
Well, then don't fucking play heavyweight then. Don't play in the heavyweight division and just use the bantamweights and the freaking lightweights.
Hey, Tracy, I doubt you're going to see this video, but they took away the ability to search individual weight classes back in UFC 4, unfortunately. So if you do get heavyweight and you decide to quit out, if you quit out 3 times within an hour, you get banned for 30 minutes.
All right? Again, this is an MMA game. You know, I'm tired of getting fucking knocked down 10 times. If I get clipped with a fucking head kick, okay, maybe 1 knockdown, man. If I get clipped with that again, I better be out. I better lose. Because then you're really on edge. Then you're really like, okay, man, this is serious, man.
That's what I've been saying, bro. And people, oh, you want to get hit with 1 punch and go to sleep? That happens. It happens, bro. There's nothing wrong with being punched or kicked 1 time and the fight ends. That's the danger of the sport. That's what makes the sport the sport. This is not an arcade game. There's no health bar where the health bar can't automatically be depleted. Like, it's not that. Quit trying to balance it and make it that way. That's why it's so flawed, and that's why people cheese certain things, bro.
Then you're in the game, man. You're really fucking part of it. Rather than playing an arcade game. It would just make the game better. You don't have to go too crazy with it in the lighter weight classes, but if we're doing heavyweight, you better make it so that Tom Aspinall lands 1 fucking punch and you're going down.
I don't know about that extreme, but I do want it extreme. It's heavyweight. These dudes is 250, 60, 70 pounds. Brother, they're going to hit hard. Not many men can take a overhand right from Derek Lewis.
Second round, you want to survive till the second round? Okay, then let's decrease his power a little bit. But you get my point. It just makes the game more realistic, and I think the fans would like that. Another thing that they should do is they should actually work with every single fighter that's going to be in the game. And this shouldn't be impossible. Like, again, the UFC, I'm pretty sure, works with EA Sports. They have, like, a business relationship. I'm sure that they could put it in a fighter's contract where, all right, you're kind of obligated to be in the video game.
Guess what? EA's not going to do it. Too lazy, probably cost too much money, not worth it to them. But to the community, that would be drastic. Think about NBA 2K. Think about NBA 2K. 2K Sports has all these different dribble moves and all these different animations that these actual basketball players do. But EA can't do it. And the community excuses it. And when people complain about it, they say stop complaining. But it's like, bro, I'm asking not to better myself and my enjoyment of the game. I'm asking to better overall of the game and give it that more immersion of what the actual sport is like. Why am I wrong? Why am I a crybaby for that?
Fly you out to the EA Sports headquarters, wherever they're doing it, and you're just going to, throw a couple punches, throw a couple kicks. It'll take an hour of your time, and that's it. Just an hour of your time, and that's it. That way, the fighters can actually feel unique in the way that they throw punches, in the way that they throw kicks, in the way that they shoot takedowns, in the way that they're even doing the celebrations, whatever. It shouldn't be that difficult either way. Let's get to career mode critiques.
I'm going to be honest, career mode is literally the exact same. The career mode was the same from UFC 4 to UFC 5.
Let's get to a couple of them. Number 1, I am tired of having to fight 10 to 15 times before I get to a belt. I shouldn't have a record of 9-0 with 9 first-round KOs and just be getting my first-ranked opponent, all right? Enough. If you have a couple of wins in a row, you should be getting a ranked opponent. If you've knocked out 4 fighters in a row, you should be getting a main event. And if you win that, you should be getting another main event. And if you win that, you should be fighting for the title. Another thing is, after you go on a win streak, you should have the ability to fight in 5 rounders. I don't know if UFC 5 is doing this. I guarantee you they're not. I guarantee you they're not. I guarantee you, again, they haven't changed anything about the career mode that actually matters. There are no 5-round fight nights in UFC career mode. I guarantee it. There's no Apex Fight Night main events if you're on like a 6-fight win streak. I just know it. Okay? I just know it. Another thing. Can we kind of just like stagnate everybody's age? I know that it shouldn't make it. Hey, man, you're complaining about the age of a fighter when, yeah, I don't want to be fighting 47-year-old Tony Ferguson for my 3rd title defense. It's annoying.
70? That's nasty work, EA.
Dude, if you're doing career mode, by the time you get to the title, which would be like 6 fights in, 7 fights in, like the champions should then start to age, but everything should stagnate until you get to the belt, because like you don't want to be like, oh, here's my first title fight and now Volk is 52. Fuck that, dude. Screw that. Everybody's age should fucking stagnate until you get to the belt, and then it should freaking stagnate some more and only go up after 3 fights. Every 3 fights, everyone's age goes up. That's it. It's stagnated. I don't care what the difference is in the...
Oh, but people, tell you what the people gonna say? But would you want the game to be realistic? That doesn't make sense.
The date, just freaking stagnate, man. All right? I'm tired of fighting fucking 52-year-old Robbie Lawler, dude. You know what I mean? Or 72-year-old Anthony Pettis, man. Screw that. And I don't want to be 50 in my first title fight either. It's just not realistic. That's the type of thing that people playing the game actually care about. It's the small things like that. All right? It's the small things like that, okay? Another thing. Can we just do realistic rankings? All right? Like, whatever the rankings are in the current state of the UFC, because it shouldn't be that difficult, because I know, like, whenever there's a pay-per-view coming up, there's, like, some big update in the UFC games.
He's about to cook. I heard the oven get turned on. I heard the eye get to. He's about to cook. This makes so much sense. It keeps it realistic. Update.
Whatever. They're aware of what's going on. They can make adjustments. When you start your career mode, the rankings should be the way they are in the real world, the one that we're living in, like the current welterweight rankings or the current lightweight rankings, and it should stagnate until you get to the belt. Fuck it. Just keep it there forever. All right? And maybe, all right, you win 5 fights and then the rankings change a little bit, but they should only change a little bit. They should only change a little bit. These other fighters don't need to be having 50 fights in between my 2 fights, all right? Enough. Let's just have the realistic rankings because, again, man, like, you're starting a career mode and you're fighting RDA for a belt. RDA shouldn't be able to fluke himself into a title fight in 2020. Let alone 2025. I guarantee you some of you guys are fighting RDA right now. All right?
I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. We ain't gonna take no RDA slander. Nah, not over here. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
And, Tyron Woodley, I don't even know if he's in UFC 5, but, like, he shouldn't be a champion at this point. All right? And he shouldn't be in
Is Tyron Woodley in UFC 5? I think he is.
the top 5, nor should Conor McGregor. All right? So let's make the rankings actually realistic. So we're like fighting people that we would realistically fight these days if you're like a 5th ranked guy, all right? Next up, press conferences, trash talk. If the UFC games are capable of doing like the face-offs on like the ESPN MMA Instagram type of thing, if they can do like face-offs and fake press conferences, look at this. Here's Volkanovski and he's doing like a press conference with Anthony Pettis. Let's just bring that to life a little bit. Just give us a couple of options. Give us like 4 types of options in a 4-segment moment of a press conference. Give us 4 moments at a press conference, 4 back and forth moments. Give us like 4 options of answering questions. It doesn't even have to be that great. Just give us the fucking opportunity, please. An opportunity to be a boring NPC with your answer, an opportunity to trash talk, or maybe an opportunity to fumble.
These are the things that make games great. It's the small details that make the game great, and the things that he's saying. Like I will say, what he's saying, it has to be a bit more dynamic because it will get stagnant. But like, give people that option of talking during the press conference, being that type of fighter, having more character about their in-game character.
Fumble over your words and then your opponent makes fun of you. I don't give a shit if the voice is similar, okay? If their excuse for not doing the press conference is, well, then we would have to get the fighters to do the voiceovers. By the way, if there's only a couple options for each voiceover, it shouldn't be that difficult. But either way, just give them an NPC voice. I don't really care what the voice is. You know, just give us the press conferences, please. And give us a post-fight interview. Give us a post-fight interview with a Megan O'Leary. Is that so hard? You know,
That's too hard for EA. Too expensive. It doesn't fit the budget.
get Megan O'Leary to put on the freaking whatever she's got to put on to be in the game. All right. And then just, you know, put a UFC backdrop, you know, that they would have at the actual event, and do a short interview after the fight, and do loss interviews when you get KO'd. When you're like a UFC vet, when you're a grizzled vet, they should be doing freaking interviews with you when you lose. All right. So like there should be some interviews. There should be press conferences. You should have an ability to call people out. And also, let's be able to like move around weight classes too. I want to be able to move up and down whenever I want. If you're a champion, make it a little bit harder. I don't mind the whole, you got to defend your belt a bunch of times in order to move up or move down. That's fine. Keep it the same way, because it isn't actually easy for champions to move up or move down these days. It's like a big thing. But if you're a ranked fighter, you can move up or move down whenever you want. So make that. All right, make that. So again, we don't really need a lot. Give us the opportunity to get main events in career mode where it's a 5-round fight. All right. Don't make us have to go through 50 NPCs to finally get our first ranked opponent. And by the time we get our first ranked opponent, then we're going to have to go on another 8-fight win streak against people that are actually like real. All right. And by the time we fight for a belt, we're like 18-0 in the UFC, which is just like, come on, bro. That's never been heard of. All right. So we don't want to have to do that. Let's do some press conferences. Let's do some post-fight interviews where we can call people out. I still like the ability to talk some shit in between fights. Okay. I would like to see these things get implemented in the game. Stop making leg kicks so slow. Just bring back whatever you guys were doing, whatever engine you were using for UFC 3, which is the thing that everyone likes the most. Just bring that back, because that's what everyone wants. Bring back the ragdolls, bring back the super unnecessary punches, but just bring back the things that we want. You don't have to add anything else, okay? You don't have to add anything else that no one's asking for. You don't have to bring in a Valentina Shevchenko or an Alexa Grasso 1-minute cameo. That's not going to make us, you know, go crazy. They expected us to go crazy for that. They expected us to be sitting on the edge of our seat, like cheering, yeah, Valentina Shevchenko. Dude, nobody's going to do that, all right? Nobody even cares that much about that. We don't need these little meaningless things. We want to feel like we're immersed in the UFC. We want it to just be a realistic experience. Again, I don't want to have to fight as a 50-year-old for my second title fight. If I choose Yoel Romero in career mode, if I choose Yoel Romero, just make me what age Yoel was when he went to the UFC. What is that, 35? And then when I'm fighting for the belt, I don't mind being 36, but, you know, just freaking stagnated a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time.
Yeah. That was a W video, bro. I'll be honest. It was a W. He made a lot of sense. And I knew he would. I knew he would, because a lot of people that think like this think alike. And people will have an issue with the way that we think about the game. And they'll say, oh, just deal with it while you complain. You're always complaining. And it's like, bro, I'm complaining because I want the game to be better. But that dude just absolutely cooked. EA, you got cooked. But I'm glad someone else says it besides me, because when I say it, you guys already know the vibes. But hey, I'm out, man. Y'all boys be sure to drop him a like, drop him a sub, show him some love. Really good content here. I'm actually going to subscribe to him myself. And I'm going to be watching more of his content as well. But with that being said, y'all stay up, stay blessed, keep moving forward. I'll catch you guys in the next one.